Thank you so much. Okay. So, well, good morning, everyone. I am Casey. I'm from Chicago. Flew in yesterday, so I love getting to come hang out in the beautiful weather right now because Chicago can be real interesting this time of year where it could be this weather and then the next day we're gonna have snow. That's just kind of how Chicago is. So while I'm here, you'll probably hear me talk about eating all of the oysters and all of the key lime pie I can possibly consume. So we're gonna get started. I'm from Vish. I'm a hairdresser. I've been a hairdresser for 23 years. And I've been with Vish from the very beginning. I was like user number 2. And that was a really strange old tech. And it's come obviously so far. Was anybody here with the first round of this tech? Got to try it before? Okay.
I think it was at a different location.
It was at a different location. That's right. Okay, so then never mind. Let's not even talk about that tech. We're gonna start here with a little intro video for you.
Hello there. You're probably watching this either in a staff meeting or a staff gathering because your manager or owner has told you they are bringing on Vish. And many of you are probably thinking like, whoa, 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 I like the way I do things. I'm comfortable with my creative process. Technology can stay out of the color room. And I'm here to
Nope, wrong way.
salon owner, I'm a stylist, I'm a colorist, and I've been in this industry a long time, and I can tell you that I too feared change when it came to my color process. But I'm also here to tell you that when I put aside my fear and embraced the technology that came with it and started adapting it into my salon and into my own clientele, I was amazed at the change.
There's really absolutely full creativity and full control of how you mix. I don't have to listen to a computer system to tell me how much to mix or which colors can go together. I can still be my full creative self, and I think that's been a really nice, pleasant surprise.
We can all remember a time when online booking didn't exist, when there weren't these robust POS systems to record every nuance of our business. But there never was really anything in the color room to record our nuances there. And there's a lot of nuance in our brilliance behind the station. And so to have something there to take away the human error and to let us just be creative was remarkable and quite frankly revolutionary. I can remember times where I would forget formulas just because I didn't have the time to write them down because I was too busy formulating them and creating them and tweaking them. So to have a system that records all of those pieces and just lets me be me and create was amazing.
All right, so that's glasses. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so who has gone to the computer, whether it's like your own guest or you're helping out another teammate and you're accommodating their guest, and that guest sits down and says, I love what I had last time, and you go to the computer, and it's not there. Every time. And whether you have like someone else to blame or yourself to blame, which was usually me, I was so bad at writing down my formulas, or I would write them down so vaguely that I couldn't even understand what I was supposed to do. I come from the Aveda world. I was 20 years with Aveda. So does anyone familiar with Aveda color? Where you have like all the naturals, all the pure tones, and it's all mixed at different ratios, like it's not, and so I would just write, oh, Y-O-N-N. And I'd be like, cool, how much of that Y-O, how much, okay, well, we're just gonna toss it up to the color gods and have a field day with this. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, right, our guests do say, I love what you did last time, let's do it again. And you go to the computer and you're like, huh, I thought I remembered this, maybe I didn't, shoot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna provide that consistency for you. So just like the video said, and you got to listen to the lovely Lindsay Guzman, this is not going to dictate to you what you need to do on your guest. We are gonna trust that you guys are the masters, you guys are the rock stars. We get to do so much brilliance behind the chair, still continue to do that, but we're gonna track it, we're gonna record it, we're gonna give you the precision and the consistency that has been lacking in this industry. And it's not our fault, right? This industry just really like, we do some stuff and then we have like owners and managers who are like, hey, we're wasting color, or hey, you're not doing this. And we're just kind of told to do better. Just do better. You know, and you're like, cool. So we all like get together and we make processes and we change our ticketing system or we change how we do it, and then it works for a couple weeks, right? And then we go back to doing what we were doing before. And it's, again, just because you're like, I just gotta get this done. So has anyone ever had to do the bucket of shame with your color waste? Yes, yeah, that's super fun, right? Where again, you've gotten sat down and they're like, we're gonna do stylist fees, we're gonna raise back bar fees, color waste. And we decide to do the bucket of shame where every time you have color left over, you gotta put it in this like old bleach bucket and it gets super gross and it grows and it's disgusting, and then you weigh it at the end of the week, and of course it weighs like 1,400 grams or something crazy, and everyone feels shame. But then we go back to doing what we were doing. So the cool thing about Vish is we knew that there had to be an easier way. There had to be an easier way with all of this technology to track our formulas, to be able to deliver the precision and the consistency that our guests crave. We hear a lot about the economy right now, right? Is anyone kind of a little bit sick of hearing about how the economy is affecting our industry, right? Guests still have money and they will still choose to prioritize getting their hair done, but they do want to know they're being taken care of on the other end. And when you guys can look at them and say, hey, listen, I am tracking and recording your formula, it is for you, why would they want to go someplace else? They're gonna feel very taken care of knowing that they can sit down and see anyone if you happen to be out or on vacation or needing a self-care day and they still need to get in. It is important that we are delivering to them and letting them know, hi, come on over. Hello. Come this way. Just come closer. I promise not, because you're in the front row, I won't call on you ever. Just kidding. Clearly. So, who here has to count inventory? Everyone, okay. It's a team. How long does that take you guys?
All day.
Yeah, all day, because you get interrupted, right? You gotta print out the forms, you gotta get the clipboard, you gotta get a step stool, and then you gotta get interrupted because someone, a client's on the phone or, whatever, and it takes all day. Who hates being out of stuff? Yeah. Or I said, is there anyone in the room that gets that secret thrill out of taking a 4 and a 9 and making a 7? There sometimes is that person in the room. But I'm like, that's not me. That gives me anxiety. That gives me absolute anxiety. So we're also going to be able to not just just by mixing your color, no one's gonna have to count inventory again. No more tearing of box tops or having to have the one trash can where you're supposed to save everything, and then if you forget and you throw something out and then you gotta go fish it out from the trash. Vish is gonna track all of your inventory for you, and one person is gonna be able to generate a purchase order, and it's gonna have everything you need based on what you've used. How revolutionary is that? That it's not gonna be like, oh shoot, we accidentally miscounted this particular shade, and now we've got 17 of those, and we're out of something that we use all the time, right? That happened to me in my salon, where I got 20 yellow pure pigments, which if you can imagine, what am I gonna do with yellow pure pigment when I needed YO pure pigment? Very, very different. So yeah, we want to do all of that. So I'm sure you guys are also thinking, maybe you've seen Vish on social media and you're like, this looks super, super cool, but how much time is it going to take? And you know what? Let's not lie. There is nothing faster than throwing a bowl on the counter, throwing a bunch of stuff in it, just squeezing away, rushing off to put that on your client. But can you tell me precisely within 1/10 of a gram how much color you just put in that bowl, and was it appropriate for their head shape, their texture, and the density and effect you're going for? Maybe. Can you come back and repeat it with accuracy and precision? Again, maybe, not really. And what if you just need to come back and mix 10 more grams? Who can do that kind of math? Is anyone here that good at math?
No.
Or enjoy math? Let's put it that way. Does anyone here enjoy math? What if someone's, you do, good job! Congratulations on how your brain works. That's awesome. I had no idea when I went into this industry that there would be so much math involved. But what if I do want to mix something at a 1 to 1.5? Who's you gotta get out the phone, right? So Vish is gonna help us with math. It's gonna help us with precision and consistency. Who has trouble consulting about price? Anyone? Is there anyone that gets that little bit of agita, I mixed more than I was supposed to, I didn't quote enough for this, so I guess I'm just gonna charge this. You've painted yourself into that price corner, right? It happens all the time, and that's okay, because it's an emotional process, so we're gonna eventually try and take some of that emotion out of it for you as well, give you that professional platform to stand on so that you guys can just mix what you need to mix, deliver that excellent service, your wonderful personalities to the guests, knowing that Vish is taking care of all of the sort of ins and outs, the admin stuff of what makes our job so tricky. Because behind the chair, we're bartenders, we're psychologists, we are friends, mothers, you know, we are doing all of the, you know, as well as creative artists, biologists, all of those things. Let Vish take care of the math, the precision, and being able to repeat from history. We're gonna be able to take care of that for you. So let's talk a little bit about the environment. So obviously you guys live in an area where there's lots of green space, there's lots of water. I mean, you have to deal with red tides sometimes, right? All of that is environmentally influenced. Did you guys know that 13 million pounds of hair color wind up in our environment every year? Yeah, that's crazy. We consider the average salon a 6 to 8 chair salon. So already think of where you fall in that. The average salon is throwing away between 10 and 12 tubes of color a week. Now, if you watch someone walk into your retail area, or just a stylist grabs a tube of color and stands over the sink and just squeezes it out, I'm guessing you would say something, right? But it isn't someone standing over the sink squeezing out whole tubes of color. It's all the times that we come back with leftover color, whether it's little bits of color or whether it's globs of color. And who feels shame? Who feels like, oh, and you try and sneak a little bit and you're like, no one look at this. Because I guarantee we're probably not gonna charge the guests for that, and it's just going into our water, into our soil, and into our air. So by mixing in Vish, again, just by doing your jobs with the great way that you do it, we're gonna ask one new step of you. At the end of mixing your color, you're gonna reweigh your bowl. It's that simple. It takes 5 seconds. You reweigh your bowl, whatever is left over, we take it out of the formula for you. So telling your guests that each formula is not only saved every single time, so when they say, you know what, remember what we did, that low light that we did last year? Can we do that, but all over? And you're gonna be like, sure, but now you can. You can go find that date in history, mix that formula, but it will also be specific to their head, their texture, the density and the effect you were going for. Because when you reweigh that bowl, anything that's left over gets subtracted. Even if I had mixed more, come back and she had lots of hair and I mixed more 5 times, it's gonna add that all together and then subtract any waste for you. Because we should not have to remember 8 weeks from now, I think I overmixed this, and how do I mix less? That's the whole question, right? It's not, oh, I can, I mean it for sure, right? I can mix less, I can cut it in half, easy, but would that be enough?
What about like when somebody skips their appointment, they're like 2 weeks out?
That's a great question, yes. So when you see a formula from history in Vish, you still have the opportunity to adjust that. We actually can do all of that. So it's gonna show you what you have, but let's see, yeah, they pushed it, right?
Yeah.
You can immediately ask for like 150% of it instead.
Okay.
Yeah, you can change and you can swap ingredients out, because that's gonna keep that formula evolving and keep that relationship growing. What if they are snowbirds, right? They go north, she sees the hairdresser up north, now it's too dark, she's back here.
Right.
I'm sure you guys have to deal with that stuff all of the time. I can take that last formula I did, and you know what, today I need to adjust it. I'm gonna swap out this, blue violet for something a little warmer, she's a little drab. You'll be able to do that. And then each formula saves with the date of service. Okay. So it's never gonna replace an old formula, you'll always have it, but then you'll see all the new ones too. Okay. So, and use Vish to help plan out your day. So that's what you guys are all gonna get it on your phones as well. You guys can plan out your day before you even come in. Sit, who's your clients? What formulas do I want? Plan it, prep it. Assistants who work with stylists, stand with them. You know what? When they're doing it, you could prep a formula for them as they're consulting. Now we don't have to say, hey, go mix this toner. You get to go mix it. You forgot one ingredient. You run back out and go, wait, what was the second ingredient again? And how much did you want? That can all be planned. So everybody's gonna get that consistency and that precision that we're looking for, right? So just by mixing in Vish, we're gonna be able to help cut down on our color waste by about 40% within the first 6 months alone, which is super awesome. We're really, really proud of that. So, okay. We're gonna have a little widget on the front desk as well, which is super exciting. the front desk is going to be able to become more partners with us. So when you add on services, when you change a service, they're going to be able to see that in real time. Did you guys know 20% of what we do behind the chair doesn't make it to the ticket? Yes. How many times have you guys done that? I will absolutely call myself out. Totally. Every time. I was talking about those conditioning treatments that we were doing, and we had like a contest to add on. Every single time. 15 minutes after the client left, I went, oh, I forgot to put that on our ticket. Well, it's free forever now, because I don't want to have that uncomfortable conversation the next time. I had a teammate who I'm lovingly going to call Tornado Todd. I had to have that uncomfortable conversation with him when it was discovered after we started using Vish. He didn't charge for $5,000 worth of toners in about a 6-month period. Because I think he was too busy. There was a lot of reasons there. But at that point, when you say, listen, this is theft of service now at this point, but other people are going to be getting these clients, and they're going to know a toner was done. It's not on the ticket. You're leaving that up to the other person to now have that uncomfortable conversation. So use Vish to plan out your day. Have you guys ever heard the expression, you only have today to make more money? That's true, this industry. You only have today to make more money. I always joke, I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. I better make some money today. And I live in Chicago. I really could get hit by a bus. It's really possible. Happens all the time. But when, tomorrow may cancel. You might get a no-show. So when you're looking at this person today to say, you know what, you haven't had a little focus foil in a while. Let's add on a focus foil today. You've got Vish to help you plan out that day and make more money per ticket and really keep delivering excellence to your guest. So, all right, here we go. So Vish consists of this iPad. Has anyone in here never touched an iPad? Believe it or not, I've had someone say yes to that at a salon before. I always thought it was just kind of a rhetorical question, but she really had never touched an iPad. So let's not make it into a big mean animal, right? It's just an iPad, it's just a scale. Has anyone here never measured their color on a scale before? You don't measure on scales? Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there are some salons that don't, right? I was like, wait, what? I was not prepared for that answer. No.
I was not before.
Yes. But listen, we've all measured in scales. We all know how to use an iPad. We're just gonna put them together, and we're gonna use them in a slightly different way. But as we're hairdressers, we like color, we like to touch things. We like, most of us like technology. So that's all that this is. My scale. This is, however, a little bit of a different scale than you're used to. Obviously, it does not have to be plugged in, except for at night, it's gonna get powered down and plugged in overnight because it has a 25-hour internal battery. This is an electromagnetic scale that is accurate down to the 10th of a gram, and it is real time. So does anyone ever, you've been squeezing and your other scales, maybe the battery's dying and it like lags? You're not gonna get that with Vish. It is real time. Something hits this, it's gonna appear on the screen. For all the Tornado Todds out there, this is sensitive from all 4 sides, not just the top. So you do wanna keep a nice clean work area, right? And if you see someone who's maybe in a little bit of a panic, just, push some stuff away from the sides, because anything touching the sides is going to register like as part of the empty bowl. So, all right. It doesn't matter what bowls you use. You could measure in a teacup if you want. Vish will account for it. So I am going to tap it. This is called pairing mode. I don't know if you guys can see this. When I see numbers on the top of it, that's pairing mode. It's paired already by Bluetooth with its little friend, the scale here, or the tablet, I'm sorry. And now it's connected. So when I see those numbers go away, you know that your scale and your iPad are connected. I'm gonna close this for a second. I've got too much stuff. Yes, dear?
So if you said it doesn't matter the bowl, when you go to measure when you're done,
Yes.
how does it collaborate the bowl?
Yes, so if I'm doing my mix in this bowl, I'm gonna reweigh this bowl for that mix. What I use the next time doesn't matter, but it will know the difference. So if I have 2 different formulas on a mix, and I try and, this is Formula 1 and this is Formula 2, and I try and reweigh this as Formula 1, it may not let me because it knows. So you don't have to tear this scale. You actually don't even touch it at all. Once you put the bowl down, which we'll do in a second, it tears out the empty weight of the bowl. And then it knows that that's your bowl for that mix.
What if I don't use that bowl next time?
Go, doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, it's just for the mix in the moment.
Okay. It's like
Yeah.
if we cleared out to 0. Gotcha.
Yeah, so everybody's gonna get a pin. That's how you access Vish, right? When you log in, we have a relationship with your POS. So you guys are gonna log in, you're gonna see your clients for the day. It is only showing you your clients for today. That's just all that we get. So you're gonna be able to go in and, as I said, plan out your day. See what services they've scheduled. You can get everything prepped. If there is anyone who wants to like look ahead within the next 48 hours, I can show you how to do that. There is a little workaround. If you wanna like, hey, I'm off tomorrow, I'm back on Thursday, I wanna prep some formulas, I can show you how to do that. There is a little workaround. So I've got my clients' names. This is just about finding the words that you want and touching them. You get to touch a lot of fun stuff. So when I want my client, I'm gonna touch it. I see what she scheduled. You'll also see I've got add services down here in the corner. So if I wanna add on a service, I don't wanna do this service, I can change it at any time, right? Because sometimes things change during our consultations. Even after I've started mixing, if I go, oh, she wasn't a full foil, she was actually a partial foil, I can change it. Or if she scheduled a partial and I start mixing and I'm packing those foils in there, I'm going, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna charge her for a full. I can change it. Think about your time and think about your labor and energy, and Vish can help you do that. So I see I've got a word here, addable. I'm gonna touch it. Come on, there we go. And I get my options, start new, mix from history, or mix from favorites. Everybody is new the first time. You have to get the formula in here at least once, and then it'll be in here from history forever. So this first 30 days, it is gonna be a little bit longer to use. It's gonna take an extra minute because you do have to at least get that formula. So prepping from our phones or prepping before the client gets here is really gonna help it move faster from day one. Just getting the colors you picked. You don't have to pick amounts if you don't want to. I'm gonna start a new formula. And then I've got my product lines here, right? So what product line do I want? If I'm doing a full foil. Find the word you want and touch it. Good job. What'd you touch? Voila, right? So, oh, here we go.
I touched it, but
There we go. I don't know. I've got more words. So I see here I've got every portion of Wella, right? Whatever I might want. And I'm just gonna find the word that I want. So if I'm doing a full foil, what do I want? Find my word. Did you touch Blondor? Yeah, now you see she touched Blondor. Now I've got all my Blondor options. Touch what you want. Do you need my glasses?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, she touched it and it got a check mark. And I've got a little shopping cart. So if I want to combine two things, do you guys ever combine like your soft cream and your powder and you're making like, touch whatever you want. So if I wanted every single lightener here, I can touch every single lightener. We're never gonna dictate to you what you put in a bowl. You wanna mix Color Fresh Mask with Color Touch, go right ahead. Your teammates might give you some side-eye, but I promise you Vish does not give side-eye. Vish does not have feelings like that. You might think it's yelling at you sometimes, I promise you it's not. If there's something I don't want in my cart, I'm just gonna touch it again and it goes away. So I've got one lightener here, right? Oh, I've got a, all right, and I'm gonna add it. And now I'm gonna get some developers. So what developer might you want? You're in the front, sorry, you got it, we picked the first one. And again, if I wanna combine two developers, I wanna make 15 volume, I wanna make 25 volume, you go right ahead. And I'm gonna add it. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Okay, this is my build a formula screen. You can have this on your phone or you're gonna see it here on the tablet. This gives me the opportunity that if I wanna plan out the direction I'm going and at least get that first bowl set up, I can. Do I have to plan out the target weights? I do not. If you just that first time, you wanna like grab your ingredients, save it, squeeze, mix to your own consistency, go ahead. I like to plan out. So I'm gonna say, you know what? I want a ½ ounce of that lightener, and then I've got developer ratio. So again, no math. Yes, dear?
So are you saying we can do just that and then mix on the scale and it will tell you what we mixed as opposed to doing what you're doing right now?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you've got your target weights for next time.
Okay.
So when you mix from history, the target weights will be here based on what you mixed today. So it's specifically with lighteners too, you might want to, you're like, yeah, you just want to mix to consistency. You don't have to plan out where you're going.
Okay.
Yeah. However, I would recommend you at least, do you know the ratio that you like to mix your developer, roughly? Yeah. I'm like a 1 to 1.5 person. I know I don't like it too thick, too thin, somewhere in the middle. I've got custom for everything as well. So I can do a target weight that is a quick button, or I can do a custom. So if I want to mix at a 2.5 times the ratio, I can, right? So I can either save that for later, which looks like this. So when I've prepped my formula, I've saved it. It's all there for me. When I'm ready to mix, all I have to do is touch what I want, and it's going to tell me to put my bowl on the scale. It's always going to tell me. I'm going to grab that bowl, and it's going to go on the scale. This is my mixing screen. So because I took the time to set a target weight, I want you guys to watch my little beauty blender here, right? Do you see that? I'm going to start putting my lightener in, and all I have to do is fill my beauty blender. It's done. When that little beauty blender is full, I'm done. Do you notice that it went red? Because I went a little over my target weight. I promise it's not yelling. I've also got this cute little balance button. So when I go over my target weight, a balance button pops up. If I touch that, it balances the whole thing. So even if I had 3 different colors and a developer, if I go over in one, I can balance it and it will do all of the math. So now my math is done for my developer. I asked for 1 to 1.5. The math is done. All I have to do is, again, watch right here. There we go. Oh, maybe a little more. I'm good. If I want to pick this up and stir it now at this point, pick it up, give it a stir, no problem. I can put it back down. I can adjust what I want, and lets me right back in. So if I want to just mix to my own consistency, I can, right? You guys, that's it. I've mixed it. I'm going to tell Vish I'm done, and I'm going to log myself out. That means I'm walking away. And I'm going to go away. Hello, good morning. All right, so here's that last part, right? If I want to mix more, I can come back and mix more. I know we've got clients coming, so I will show individually how we mix more. But the last part I want to show is that reweigh, because it is super, super important. During the first 30 days, all I want you guys to focus on, your only goals, is mixing 100% of your formulas in Vish and trying to reweigh 90% of the time. You guys think you can do that? Pretty easy, right? We know you're going to forget. A formula's going to get forgotten. It's okay. Always remember your teammates can help you reweigh, but we want to try and reweigh at least 90% of the time. If you forget, don't stress. The formula will still be there for next time. It just will not recalculate minus that waste. So the reweigh is new, but it is easy. I log back in. I find that formula, or that person. Here's the formula that I've been doing, right? It's yellow, it says in progress. It's right there waiting for me. I see what I want, I touch it. What's my first option? Reweigh. It's right there. And I put it right back down. And I'm successful. You get a happy green check mark. That's it, you guys. Any questions at this moment? Not right now? We will. Yes, I'm like, we will. That's okay. That's okay. Are you guys excited? Do you feel like it's cooler than you thought it was going to be? Yes. Okay, good. That's awesome. I love that. We're going to have some fun. Honestly, I think it's fun. I think it's like a game. So
with the inventory then, does that only work after we all have all of our?
Oh, your formula. I mean, it'll be tracking no matter what. So, but it's that's why one of our goals is that you need to get up and get mixing 100% of your formulas.
Right.
Obviously, if we do any off-scale mixing, meaning the Vish scale, you know, your inventory is not going to be as accurate as it could be. So, but if everyone agrees that the goal is that you don't want to count inventory anymore, then let's all encourage each other to say, you know what, I know it takes an extra 30 seconds, please mix in Vish. If that's, you know, because to have the ability to just one click, generate a purchase order rather than printing, counting, getting distracted. Also then, you know, what if it doesn't get, being out because it doesn't get placed that day, then you have a whole other day, and what if it's, God forbid, a Friday? Then you gotta wait, seriously, like, what are you gonna, so let's all, yes, dear.
And then you said, like, what prep work are we gonna have to do for it? Like you said a couple times, like the night before or in the morning.
The morning of, so either from your phone or you get here a little bit early and you come to the tablet, is seeing.
Really good at that, so.
Yes. It'll take, if you get here 10 minutes early, it'll take you between 5 and 7 minutes to go through all your schedule in Vish and just go through and pick the colors you want. I see that Mary Jane is having a foil. I'm gonna go pick this Blondor and 20 volume. Save it for later. I know she gets a glossing treatment. It's not on her schedule. I'm gonna just add the service. I don't know what I'm gonna gloss her with yet, but I'm gonna add the service. Then I see Betty Sue. Betty Sue, I know she gets a root touch-up. I'm gonna pick my 6/6 stroke 0 and my 6 stroke 3. Is that
Can you do it the night before?
there is a way, there is a workaround, but the POS only shows us the formula, the schedule the day of. So, but that schedule will be there at like 4 in the morning. So if you're even up in, you know, drinking your coffee at home from your phone, you could log in and see your schedule for the day before you come in. So, and yes,
Is that only, are they able to do that from the phone too? Or
yes,
just the app?
yes, yeah. So, and then if you said, if it's within 48 hours, Forrest will have sent that, like the person, the information to Vish, and we can go through, if it's the person's coming in within 48 hours, search for their name, and then you could go in and prep that formula. You kind of pretend like they're here, and then you just cancel it out. And then when the person is here in another day, you can just mix from history.
Can she access my clients from my phone and mix my bowl?
So,
Like, can I mix a bowl for her?
Yes,
on my
you
phone?
will log in as her. Yes, and you won't mix from your phone. You'll mix from the tablet.
Right,
But yes,
The formula's like.
yeah, if you are,
A different passcode?
yeah, everybody's gonna get their own pin. So if you're logging in as someone else,
Like if an
yes,
associate can see her schedule, my
Yep.
schedule, pull it
you
up.
wanna see her schedule, you're gonna log in as her pin. So everybody's pin is what connects them to their schedule for the day. Yep, so we'll get everybody's pins set up. Yep.
I'm in trial and error, right?
So it's gonna be, it's the first time, it's gonna feel weird.
Right.
Second time, you're gonna be like, all right. And then by the third time, you're gonna be like, I got this. So, all right, let's get set up for our day. Because I know we've got people already working and I'm in their way.
Okay.
Now wait, let's think about the service.
Okay.
Okay, so this is technically a
glaze.
redo, right?
It's a glaze.
Okay.
So I add services.
Yes, you
Because it's
do.
not a root.
Yeah. There
And
you
I
go.
don't have her down
And
for
you can
anything.
type it.
Okay.
Okay, good job. Now find it. There you go.
Start my formula.
Okay,
Voila.
good job. Good job. Pop that list view out again. There you go.
You have any more planning more
And
stuff?
then I'm doing
Yeah, but I'm waiting for some.
7,
Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean?
7, 8,
Anything left undone?
And now what do you want?
and
Good job. Say numerical. There you go. Good job.
and then 1.9.
See,
Good job.
1.9 gallon, didn't do that.
Do you want to plan out where you're going?
1.9 gallons.
Yeah.
It's down there.
Yeah.
I'll wait till they're done.
Yeah.
We'll do 0.5, 0.5,
And then,
and then 2.
good job.
You're good, you're good.
Woohoo!
Sorry.
Except I think I'm gonna need more 79.
Okay.
She's not coming? That's really weird. She literally made that point today.
4K.
It's all your fault.
I can't get away with
It's all your fault.
nothing.
You're making her nervous.
All the eyes, the camera. I'm not
I can't bench
TikTok
you, bro.
famous.
Stop.
Constantly
Watch your
videoing yourself.
balloon.
Right.
Oh, maybe I will have enough. Just on the dot.
When nobody's watching, it's different, I guess.
You might as well finish that too. You can always balance it.
Done.
Good job.
All right, and then I should balance it just to
Yeah.
keep myself happy.
Keep yourself happy.
But once it's like
There
done,
you go.
And then
job.
996.
like once you do it, it's done. It's just remembering to
Sorry,
do
by
it.
the way, yesterday my son said to
I'm
get
just cleaning you.
thought
Did
it
he?
was sex.
Did we get all
I
those
didn't
things
know
in?
that. Oh, wow.
Amazing.
He was
cool.
telling me
Yeah.
back in the car on the way home, he goes, that's why Rob was looking in that direction. Like, what were you doing?
I had no idea.
No.
You know that.
He goes, Daddy, I think I was trying to get in Rob's car.
I've done it.
was
I've
yours."
done it. I've done this. I've gotten in.
Somebody
tried to
else's?
get into it. Yeah.
I would ignore it.
Yeah,
They all look
You can
alike.
tell.
yeah, and then they can't get in, and they're just like,
Yeah,
triggers
mine
you.
will slip over my
It's
feet.
okay.
And
well,
then,
him
That's
and
awesome.
yours are the same color now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
oh, it's so weird not clicking out the scale.
It's weird to me that it's not on the scale. Like I have to like look
Yes,
at the
I have
iPad
to
for
look at the iPad.
for the measurements
Yeah,
instead of on the
I'm
scale.
not used to that yet.
Well
I'm like,
done.
it messes with my
Now,
eyeballs.
what are you
I'm like,
gonna
I
do?
don't like this. I don't know
Now
what
I'm
doing.
gonna click done
Yes.
and log out.
Woohoo! High five.